In today's video, I want to share with you 10 advanced, super common phrasal verbs that you can use in almost every situation. Grab your pen and paper and let's begin. Our first phrasal verb is to work out. Work out has different meanings. The first meaning is to do exercise. So for example, you can say, "It's no wonder she's so fit. She works out 5 times a week." The second meaning is when a problem works out, it means that the problem gets better. So for example, you can say, "Maria is going through a rough patch. I hope everything works out in the end for her." Okay, so you can say, "I hope everything turns out well. I hope the problem finishes and gets solved." Our second phrasal verb is to call off. To call off means to cancel. So you can say, "Because of the rain, the party was called off." Okay, because of the rain, the party was called off. Our third phrasal verb is to check out. To check out. To check out has different meanings. The first one is, for example, when you go to a hotel and you leave after paying. But the meaning that we are interested in today is when you look at something or somebody to see if you like them. So for example, have you checked out my latest video in YouTube? You should. Our phrasal verb number 4 is to end up. To end up means to reach or come to an end, normally unpleasant. So for example, you can say, "I knew that he would end up in prison. He committed so many crimes." So I knew he would end up in prison. He committed so many crimes. Our next phrasal verb is to figure out. To figure out means to discover or to understand something. So you can say, for example, "I can't really figure out why he said that. I can't really understand why he said that." Okay, so it's a synonym for understand. Our phrasal verb number 6 is to get away with something. You get away with something when you do something bad without being punished for it. So for example, you can say, "Murder is a serious crime, so people rarely get away with it." Get away with it. Okay, one of my favorite ways to improve English is to watch TV shows. And by the way, there is an excellent show called How to Get Away with Murder. So if you haven't watched it, I really recommend it. Our next useful phrasal verb is to go ahead. To go ahead has several meanings. One of them means to start to do something. So you can say, "We have permission to go ahead with the project." Okay, so it means we have permission to start the project. But to go ahead is something that we say when somebody is asking us to be allowed to do something. So for example, a person might tell you, "Excuse me, may I borrow your pen?" And you say, "Sure, go ahead." Okay, so go ahead means you have the permission, you are allowed to do it. Our phrasal verb number 8 is to make up. To make up has different meanings as well. One of them is to invent something. So you may say, "Don't believe a word he's saying. He's always making up stories. He's always making up stories." It means he's always inventing stories. The second meaning of make up is to become friends again after a fight. So you might tell your friend, "Why don't you just leave your differences aside and make up?" The full expression is to kiss and make up. So when you are fighting a lot with someone and you want to reconcile, you might say, "Kiss and make up." So it means, should we become friends again? Phrasal verb number 9 is to put off. To put off has different meanings as well. One of them is simply to switch off. So you can say, "Please put off the lights," meaning turn off the lights, okay? The second meaning is to postpone something, to put off. So you can say they had to put the wedding off because the bride had an accident, okay? So it means to postpone it. And the last meaning of put off is probably my favorite, and it means to feel disgust or to feel dislike for somebody or for something. So you might say, "He's so attractive, but his smell puts me off. His smell puts me off." So in Spanish, we would say something like, "Me echa para atrás," okay? It puts me off. I feel disgusted by his smell, okay? So his smell puts me off. And our last phrasal verb of the day is to run into. To run into means when you meet somebody unexpectedly by accident. So you can say, I ran into Mary last week. I saw her at the supermarket. It means that you just met her by accident, okay? When we're talking about cars, okay, you might say, the car ran into a lamppost, okay? Meaning that the car crashed into the lamppost. Okay, so that's another meaning as well. Okay, so I hope these phrasal verbs were really useful. Remember, the phrasal verbs are meant to be used in informal situations. So if you are writing a report, a formal letter or something like that, try not to use them as much because they are meant to be used maybe in informal situations with friends and family, or in informal types of writing, say a blog post or an informal email, informal letter, and so on. Thank you so much for watching this video right until the end. You are a champion. And leave a comment down below using one example of one of the phrasal verbs we saw today. Thank you so much. Like the video if you found it useful, subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna leave you here a couple more videos so that you can carry on practicing and improving your English. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself and see you very soon. Bye.